Okay, hey everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Raise the Bar with Anna Bright.
Of course, my pleasure. Last night was my first night ever gambling. I've never gambled before in my life, and I'm a winner. I'm up $2.
Let's go!
Give me the 600. Everyone else is freaking losing. I'm a freaking winner. But $2 is humble, very cute, cutesy, very mindful, very demure. Our head-to-head at MLP. I think I'm 2-0 when I played Dekel.
I had like a record of like 15 straight matches against him.
I could not beat him in 2022.
And then I haven't won since.
I could not beat him in 2022. He was like my freaking kryptonite. I told Dekel I was going to take over.
You're a left side podcaster.
Alpha female behavior.
You and Zane, you better tear it up this week, guys. You better.
Yeah, gotta represent the lab.
Represent yourself, represent the lab,
and ourselves.
And then raise the bar. Boom. Okay, hey everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Raise the Bar. We have some special guests with us. We're going to do our check-in, and we're going to take it from the top with Anna Bright. And we've got her off of her Fresh Salt Lake City gold and silver. So thank you, Anna, for joining Dekel and I.
Of course, my pleasure. We're excited to be here with you and Dekel.
So formal. We're pretty casual here.
Had to drag her off for the dinner. But
I know.
That's okay.
I know. I saw a lot of sparklers, very Vegas-like dinner. Can you tell us what went on, Dekel?
Yeah, we had a Yola dinner with Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf, so that was cool. Got to meet them. Yeah, good food, good people.
Better company.
Sparklers?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was good.
That's cool.
Me and Dekel bonded.
We
learned a lot about each other.
What did you learn about me?
Honestly, I don't know. I probably dominated the conversation, if I'm being honest. Knowing me.
They both like maroon.
She doesn't remember anything I said.
No, she knows that you like maroon. It's in your wardrobe.
I have 2 shirts, this color.
So a fancy dancy dinner powered by Gen 3 paddle sales. That's cool.
3S.
Let's get to the lady of the hour. Anna, before we get into some more tactical, nuanced pickleball geeky questions.
I have a question first.
Oh, okay.
How many? So, like, before our practice this morning, how many coffees did you have, or Celsius, or anything, or is that pure Anna?
That's pure. That's a winning version of me. Version of me, that's a freaking winner.
She comes this morning, 8 a.m. Like Tina and I are hitting like half asleep, and just starts like full of energy.
I bring the energy.
Insane amount of energy.
No, I bring the energy everywhere I go. I don't know why you're surprised by this, Dekel.
And it's because she won $2. It's because she won $2 the night before.
No, I'm a freaking winner. Last night was my first night ever gambling. I've never gambled before in my life.
Wow.
And I'm a winner. I'm up $2.
Let's go.
Give me the 600. I left with 302. Everyone else is freaking losing. I think it's rigged here. I'm a freaking winner.
For the first 30 minutes of practice, that's all she could say.
Yeah,
we won game 1, and then I settled down and we lost game 2. That mentality is so important. I'm a freaking winner.
I'm a freaking winner there. I mean,
I walked in, I was letting everyone know I'm up $2.
Mom's gonna put that on another shirt.
If I was up like more than that, I'd be bragging. But $2 is humble, very cute, cutesy, very mindful, very demure.
Oh God.
Okay, demure. Okay.
I'm turning it into
Gen
4.
Z, yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm going right after this.
Nice. You should.
Dekel took too long.
Wow.
What?
He's costing me my man money.
All right,
I'll shut up.
Let's do this quick so she can win another $2.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording at 10:45 here, and it's not a big deal. We're gonna move on though. The other question I had before we get into pickle stuff is like, what's on the bucket list for Vegas? Obviously, 100xing, your money from 2 to maybe 200.
100. That'll take me like 50 days.
But what else? What else is on the bucket list? A fancy dinner, a show. What do we got going on in Vegas?
Probably some more time with Dekel.
Cool.
Probably some more time with Dekel. I also.
That's it?
We jumped off a building. Me,
When?
Hayden, Gabe, Dylan, and Georgia. There's like a space needle thing. We jumped off of that yesterday.
Whoa.
That was fun. So we did that. That was kind of cool. Dylan and Georgia are kind of adrenaline junkies.
Really?
Yeah.
Dylan doesn't seem like it. Georgia, I can see.
He is. Georgia wanted to go first, and then me and Hayden were like the most terrified. Gabe was like average terrified. So we did that. What else do I want to do? I don't know. That's all I got.
Well,
I'm with Dekel.
And shopping.
Turn $2 into $4.
Wait,
Turn 4 into 8. We're gonna be doubling.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
Double.
the paper clip.
You go shopping?
We're gonna
I
trade
did go
up.
shopping today.
All right. Is there more shopping to be done?
There might be, but
Wow.
I didn't find what I wanted. But I still got something because
You went shopping.
I'm there. But I
Boom.
didn't find what I wanted.
Okay. Well, Vegas, the courts may be pretty shit, but everything else is probably going to be pretty good.
So I can curse on here.
Yeah. That's why we lead with it. We kind of give you the red
I
carpet.
would have cursed already.
Okay. No, you're free to curse.
I'm a fucking winner, everyone. I'm a fucking winner. Okay.
There we go. That's the clip. Clip it. That's the clip. Boom. We're done.
All right.
Have
Thanks,
you,
Ryan. We'll see you later.
Yeah, I'm trying to do an actual interview here, Dekel, but it's fine. I actually like this. This is better. Have you guys played with Andre? Dekel hasn't, but Anna, have you played with Andre at all?
I have. I played with him maybe in May or June. A couple months ago, I was at an event in New York, a Lifetime event partnership with Yola, and he wasn't with Yola yet, but I met him. I played with him. Yeah. Okay,
so does he get through do two Andre Agassi's get through qualies? Do they win the 5-0?
Men's pro qualies. So.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, actually, a third of the people responded. 200 people responded to IG story a few days ago. They thought he would get through qualies. Does he win 5-0? Do two of him win 5-0?
19 plus 5-0?
Yeah.
Unless he's gotten a lot better in the last 2 months. No.
I heard for some top pros that he's pretty nice with it. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what he can do at the new Yola.
He's gonna think I'm so disrespectful. I also got asked last week about if he would be.
He sees all of our. He sees all of our episodes.
He asked me that last week, and I was like, he would get destroyed.
Well,
so, sorry, Andre, but Andre knows I keep it 100. He knows I keep it 100.
Fucking winners keep it 100.
Yeah.
This is another pause.
When I give you a compliment, you believe I mean it.
Yeah, this is another pause discussion, so we won't go in there. But I think you're a little off on AL versus Ryan Sherry. Too many asterisks. Too many qualifiers. I think AL would wipe him. But
okay.
Yeah. We'll get into it. But anyway, so you got gold with Rachel. The girl has got it's your 5th title this year. Got kind of a good run, given all things considered.
Gold's fine, yeah.
Yeah, gold's fine. I mean, gold and silver. We'll get to the silver, but gold and silver. Pretty good weekend. But you guys seem to be kind of firing on all cylinders there. I had a question. You guys went 3 games with Jackie and Lucy, and you always talk about playing the Kawamotos as quite tough, and I know they're different. They got different game styles, but is there something that Jackie does well that kind of gives you trouble, or that you would want in your game if you woke up overnight and you're like, I got Jackie's skill?
There's so many things that Jackie does well. I think Jackie's drops are unreal. She's so good at getting to the line. She's kind of a munchkin, but she's like deceptively she reaches in well and everything. Yeah. But I think Jackie and Jade are both like probably, I think if Jackie's not the best dinker in women's, if you're going to, sometimes like she's got to be top 2, like top 3.
Yeah.
She's so filthy, especially dinking on the left. You don't want to give Jackie like multiple consecutive touches. You especially don't want her cooking with her forehand.
You can't read her forehand.
I think she's kind of like our version of Gabe Tardio. I think she's kind of like the female version of Tardio, but she plays the left. Like just the deception on the forehand is insane. She'll get you with like this low lob that if you just put your paddle up, you would get it.
Yeah.
But it surprises you so much that you're frozen, and then it's so fast and low that it's tough to catch. Very few errors. Jackie is really good, and I thought her and Lucy made a really good team. Jade is also an excellent ball mover. They both just
they
get you on ice skates.
Yeah, they kind of feel like I think of them as like the female version of your Yola teammate Brandon French, where it's just
that's a little disrespectful.
Like
no, I don't think so.
It's a little disrespectful to Brandon French. He's a great player.
Yeah, you just
that's a good. Up here with,
me and Brandon just bonded. I was sitting beside.
I know. I saw someone sent me this story.
And Brandon convinced me that he's too good to be playing with Dekel. So I think that's a little disrespectful to him.
Okay. Wow. A little bit to me too, but whatever. We just walked up with Brandon. He was wearing shoes that are small on him, and then
he wasn't even wearing shoes.
Yeah, he took the shoes off. He was wearing pants that are way too small on him.
Wyatt Stone's pants.
Everything was Wyatt. So you can imagine
I was saying he looked like Steve from Blue's Clues. He has a chain that says B with a little lightning bolt.
Probably
he's 34, 35 years old. It's like
he owns it. I mean, but to have another man's pants a day into Vegas is just a little tough. Like what's Wednesday or Friday gonna hold? But Yeah, the Kawamoto's hot. Every time you really watch him, I get more impressed. And I've seen him in
For sure.
person quite a bit, but they're just so consistent and funky and creative and crafty. It feels like what some of the core of what Pickle is and should be, like the fine touches and the good decisions and the deception up close. But switching tracks to another lady, Mari Humberg. I know you've been working on the flick. You were trying to be an early pioneer for the ladies, bringing in the flick. I think you do the reach in, but where do you rate her flick? Is it like better than 98% of guys, like some people say? Like Zane
No.
says it's a top 5 across men and women.
That's aggressive.
I would not say that. No, I think it's very good, but to say top 5, I don't think I could say that across men and women.
Where does it create most pressure? I feel like it's still catching a lot of the women off guard. It's like people, is it because she's going with more spots with it, or is it because of the pace? Like you don't typically see that.
I think it's the pace and the spin, and most of us are not so on the line. Like it's always her default. It's similar to J-Dub. Like J-Dub, you'll see he goes to flick and then he'll change it to a slice. It's the same for Mari. The default is always to look to flick. So sometimes you think you made it shallow enough and then you didn't. I think the pace, the spin, and just how much she's looking for it. You're not calibrated necessarily. You have to have a lot of respect for how much she's leaning.
And she used to only go like really cross court with it out of the air, and it still catches the woman on the left like quite a bit. And I'm like, guys, you should be camping out. Like she's gonna.
Yeah, you definitely have to.
Yeah.
I feel like
adjust, but I think once you make the adjustment, that's helpful.
For sure.
With how much she coils, like she can go line, but she definitely needs a higher ball to bring it up the line.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's still kind of the only one that does it, especially cross court, and so it still catches a lot of players off guard. Also, mixed players, especially like the guys that haven't played against her yet. Like you don't expect.
But I mean, I know, but you guys are professional, full-time professionals. It's like you ask your partner, "What are we going to do in this match?" You're going to look out for Mari's flick.
Yes,
easier said than done, but it feels.
You need to see it once or twice, and then you're like, okay. I think she got me once, and I got it, a few times. So I had a winning record against it. We did lose though. So
typical male co-host uses the answer to brag about.
We lost.
That's true. We won't bring that up.
Brought it
up. Okay, this is the Dekel question. I don't know if he has the notes in front of him.
Is it my question?
Yeah.
What is my question?
You were going to ask Anna what partnership that isn't.
Oh yeah. What partnership that doesn't include you would beat Annalie and Catherine? Do you think?
Or really push them in like a serious way?
So it's a long thought.
I think you have to include Georgia. I think you have to include either Georgia or Rachel playing the right. I think you need to have one of them on the right. And on the left, I might put Jackie Kawamoto.
Yeah? And why? Just because she's deceptive there? And can she handle, like, Annalie's attacks and stuff?
Well, Catherine will play the right.
Okay.
Annalie will play the left. That's how they've been playing, assuming that they.
But they do switch sometimes, no?
They haven't been switching actually in the last few tournaments at all. Jackie's ball movement, she can. Annalie is excellent digger. The threat of everything she can do really increases the quality of her dinks. But Jackie can hang with that. Jackie could also get Annalie on a bit of a string there as well. I think you need either Rachel or Georgia on the right to have a lot of
the firepower.
I would probably choose Georgia if I know I'm getting peak Georgia. No one is better out of the air in the women's game than Georgia. She's also tough, very tough to attack. So I think I would put Georgia on the right, and then on the left. Yeah, I think Jackie is, but then with putting the ball away, you might have a little bit of a problem there.
Georgia will need to take the back in the middle.
Yeah, she will. She like.
That's the only thing that the Kawas lack is like the pure, kind of put away power. But I can't think of anyone I like better though than Jackie. So Jackie and Jade have pushed them hard. They're a team that
they almost beat them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll say Jackie and Georgia.
All right.
Very well reasoned. I appreciate that perspective. This is also Dekel's question, but I'll ask him for it for you.
Taking all my questions. I got my notes here. I can get it.
We're gonna go back to more fun stuff, but do you and Rachel need to reconsider a new strategy to really push AL and CP?
A new strategy,
like a bold new take, like a bold new take on.
No, I don't really think so. Like, what is a bold new take, I guess, is kind of how I feel about it. Like, they're so good. Annalie is so good, and then Catherine is, plays her role in the partnership very well. I think we need to really improve handling the drive and crash, and I have a ton of room to improve. I'm a pretty poor crasher. I think I don't see it well. So I know that's something I really need to work on that would be helpful, because if you can connect with a good drive to Catherine, like, often there is an opportunity there, but it's not like you could just attack Catherine. Like, she's kind of playing a hybrid of mixed and women's. It's not like she's covering so much court that it's easy to kind of get her, guessing or anything. And then Annalie is just so good. And they are definitely much tougher to play in their current orientation with Annalie on the left. They're definitely a better team that way than when we beat them last time, when they were playing more straight up. So that was a good decision by, them and Annalie and Athena, for sure. It makes it a lot harder. So, like, I would honestly say, like, I don't know that there's something we could really do to beat them. It's like, we need to play very well, have a very clean start, and just execute at a really high level. Like, there's no safe spot on the court to, like, really pepper, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But besides like the crashing better, is there like one skill that would help you beat them, you think?
I think my backhand dink could be better, for sure, to kind of hang with ALs a little bit more. I'm working on off-speed stuff, but
yeah, you got me with one today.
I did. I've been working on it a lot. I have some thoughts. I honestly don't want to say too much.
Yeah, that's
fair.
You can swear, but you don't need to reveal all of the insights in the plan.
I'm a competitor. I'm a winner. Against Annalie. But I've got more wins than any other girl. I'm like 5 and 20 or something.
Do you mind?
Probably more than 20?
Doesn't matter. The 6 and what we.
That includes MLP wins. I'm including it. I'm including MLP.
Yeah, read the fine print there. One question for you is, like, where do you see the women's game going? Like, what do you think is going to be a necessity in 6 months, as opposed to now? It's like, oh, if you have it, it's nice, but if you don't, then it's not a real limiter. Like, is there a skill or a pattern, or kind of like, a portion of fitness that, like, you think, because people are full-time and continuing to get better and better, and people are learning, that where are we headed on the women's side?
I think it's funny. I think when I started playing pickleball, you kind of mentioned the one-handed flick. It was like only Leia could do it, and at least I and a lot of people talk about didn't even think it was like something that women could kind of figure out and get good at. But I do think we're getting to a point where it is really necessary. Honestly,
it's kind of like the two-E with the guys.
Yeah,
everybody's developing a two-E at first. Like, nobody was hitting it, just Riley.
Yeah. So I think that is becoming super, super important. Like, Rachel is really good on the left and everything, but we've been in this last turn, we kept me on the left a lot more, just because of, not that my ability to reach in is all world or anything, but just having that ability is, I think, really, really important. And I think it's just going to continue to be more important to have something there, something out of the air on the backhand, because you're just so limited with two. And if you can only do things with two, other than that, I don't think there's a big thing. I think right now, if you're not getting better, you're staying the same.
Yeah.
100.
No,
the other way around. Yeah. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. I would say 100%. But I don't know that there's like some one skill other than like being able to reach in and do something out of the air with the back. It's not like Annalie does, though. But she's kind of so. I think if say pickleball has 100 skills, I genuinely think Annalie would probably be the very best number one in like 85 of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which is just insane. So.
What are you best at? Is there something that you are?
I think I might be the best at lobbing.
Lobbing?
Oh.
What?
Oh no! I just revealed a surprise segment for this interview, but we'll get into it
I
later.
think that's not a fair thing for me to say, though. I think I might be.
No, you're a good lobber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the lob is still underrated and underused in women's? Let's say go women's first. Because they're three pretty
Yeah,
different.
I do.
Yeah. What about mixed?
Yeah.
Or does it? Yeah. Dekel?
Situational.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Especially
against some guys, like, you can't really, it's not smart, you know.
Yeah, Will Howells.
Like,
That guy
I
is
think
a
I did a
freaking
lob against
cat.
Christian and Etta, and I could not believe he got up to it. At MLP, like right at the end and change, like it felt perfect to me.
Christian and Will Howells retrieval on they just are like springy cats.
J-Dub's really, sometimes he's really good and sometimes you can catch him.
Yeah.
Like if he has like that like mindset of like I might get lobbed, he like
no, he's insane.
he jumps crazy.
You have to surprise like
you guys need shock overhead practice. Hayden's below average, we know that. And Gabe I saw on Sunday in both men's and mixed just rifling balls landing in the
overheads.
What?
Yeah.
And then Kate take the overheads.
I probably have the best overhead on the team, which is great. But...
Yeah.
Hey, bro, don't fix it. What's our ranking?
We're fucking winners.
But what's our head-to-head though?
1 and 2, I think.
Yes, exactly.
But our head-to-head at MLP, I think I'm 2-0 when I play Dekel.
There we go.
True. But it's a team
game. She owns you. Dude, she owns you. Shut up.
No, I don't lose to this guy. I haven't lost to this guy.
I had like a record of like 15 straight matches against him.
I could not beat him in 2022.
And then I haven't won since.
I could not beat him in 2022. He was like my freaking kryptonite. I'm playing with Riley against Dekel and Megan Fudge. I'm like, Megan Fudge is a good player, but I know I'm better than Megan Fudge. I was like, if we lose, it's because I cannot handle Dekel. I didn't tell Riley that I'd never beaten you before. I was tight. I was tight.
He was going to be tight too. And
how many tournaments did you do with Riley in it? Like 3?
3.
Yeah. What was Arizona your last one?
I really enjoyed playing with Riley. It made me sad that some people thought that the drop was because of anything Riley did. I had a really good time playing with Riley.
That's cool. That's good. That's good press for Riley. Lob. Okay, so you're the best at the lob. We get that. Lob's still underrated. I don't know if it's the year of the lob. Fleming likes to say that, but
I've said that before. But
AJ says it every year.
AJ, the least like meticulous strategy guy, it was like charting his own games to try to calculate like lob winners. So hats off to him diving into the books, the X's and O's, for that. But two other questions on the mostly on the women's side. Will you ever have a coach? Like where?
Yeah, I will.
Ryan is looking for.
No,
Dekel. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's such a bad joke. Edit this out. That's such a bad joke.
What?
I have actually asked.
You say that about all my jokes.
I have inquired to some people if they would be interested. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I have thought about it.
That's cool.
I generally think, I generally have a bit of an ego. Like I don't always think it would be helpful, but I definitely think that there are times and things when it would be very helpful to have a second pair of eyes or like, in match. So I've thought about it. Yeah. And I think now is actually a time, like in the next few months, like when I might be more inclined to think about it, but there's not too many people in pickleball who I feel like are truly qualified to coach at a really high level.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've definitely thought
about it. Yeah. It's kind of a meme on one end of the spectrum, and then it's like, well, the best are doing it. It's probably a net positive, week in and week out, whether they gave you a tactical thing or just a kick in the butt, or hey, you said you were going to do this, and I don't see you guys doing that. So do you want to do that?
I found a lot of value in it before. Like I think before the MLP Super Final, we were going to be playing DC when I was on the squeeze, and me and Rachel we were undefeated except against the Kawamotos, and I had some people, like a fresh set of eyes, like look at the match. I had Dane Gingrich look at it, and he really helped me see some things.
That's cool.
And that helped us get over the edge. Also, Zane really did a deep dive, and I think Zane is a very smart. I have actually asked Zane before if he would be interested in coaching me. Actually, he's someone I've asked.
Okay, so
very highly of Zane.
Okay, so who's the third one? Who you have to help settle a debate amongst men, and we're gonna. But is it Zane, Dekel, or who do you want as the third one? Dekel. What's Zane, Dekel, or we need what's another male, top male? Who's a better?
Brandon French.
Who's Brandon French and Hayden? Who's the best strategist when it comes to like deciphering a match that's not their own necessarily and finding some winning patterns, or is it going to be Zane or Dekel?
Yeah, I guess you kind of
would
need
say
to know.
Zane,
You need
but-
to know
but
the
I
people
don't-
better. Yeah,
I don't.
Well,
Declan and I haven't like gotten like that because
I haven't gotten close.
because
like that, no.
but he can't be because he always loses to me.
I think I'm still
So-
up on the record.
100% no.
What?
100%.
well, actually, in a weird way, he may be able to tell you what's working because he's obviously on the receiving end of it.
Well, I know it's working.
Sure. Okay, he's just going to tell you to double down.
I think Zane is really
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to insult Zane in saying this, but I have a lot of respect for Zane because I think he has effectively maxed out his ability.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for that. Like, I don't think I'm close to that. I don't think there are many people who have. I think he's did everything he could to get a little bit better, like figuring out
For
you know,
sure.
chainsaws, inventing like one-handed spin serves. Like, I have a lot. I also think Tyson is someone.
Yep.
Of course, you still get a little better, but I have a lot of respect for people who have like, basically.
And they show up in the big moments for the top of their ceiling. They
Yeah.
like bring it. Not only
sure,
do they have
so-
that potential, but
I think very
Okay.
highly of Zane.
yeah. No.
Love you,
We did
Zaner.
too.
Even though
He's my partner this
even
week.
though I shit on you a
Yeah.
lot, it's all love.
Yeah, we love Zane. He's one of the few like fresh pickleball minds to have around that I think it's really helpful. Because he's trying a lot. He obviously tries a lot of stuff. He tries to find the gray area. He also tries to find stuff for him, and he's paved the way on a few things. So, not enough people hitting like droopy hybrid drives, in my opinion. Still,
Yeah,
I
he's-
on
have
short
been
returns,
trying
it's
to
like
figure it out.
He's the best at that.
I have been him and Anna Lee are the best at it.
yeah,
I have been trying to figure it out, and I had Zane. Zane gave me some drills to kind of help me with it, but I think it's been kind of starting to click for me a little bit. But it kind of involves it's kind of like off speed and like ball manipulation, and that's
Yeah.
just not. That's something I've been working on, but it's not like a supernatural kind of talent of mine, that kind of finesse. But I've been working on it.
okay. So the flick, backhand dink, and your
Off
hybrid
speed,
hybrid
like
drip,
off speed
droop,
ball manipulation. Like
Yeah.
I think those kinds of I think it's pretty much the same. It's all just ball manipulation
Yeah.
ability, and I think that's like off speed, the drip drive, like.
yeah.
Zane manipulates the ball like crazy.
crazy.
Like I practiced with him today. Like just like the little things he does with his wrist, like right before he hits, is really.
He
high
also
level.
plays so long at the
He's a
kitchen.
good ball manipulator with a stiff wrist. He doesn't have a naturally like fluid, like gifted wrist.
like
Like
Gabe.
Hayden.
Yeah, like,
Hayden is a unreal ball manipulator, but it's with
Yeah.
a fluid wrist. Zane is a pretty stiff, like
he's more like a
kind
last
of,
second.
honestly kind of a feminine wrist, and he still is able to do
Clip.
like stuff.
No,
It's
it's
true.
it's true.
It's
It's true. It's true.
And that's why
Some-
it's like even more impressive that he has figured it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone else with a fairly feminine wrist, Andre Diescu, but he's figured.
he's like very stiff. No.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
very stiff wrist, but I know he's worked hard to increase his flexion, and he has added. I kind of think of my natural movement patterns and Andre's is actually pretty similar. Like, I feel like if Andre could do it, I should be able to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Well, maybe he can join the shock overhead practice, but
No, he just doesn't have that life of an arm. Like,
it's tough. You see a guy who
But it's
played
not
really
like-
high level tennis who's like 6'4" and like in good position, and you're just like, how's this
you don't have
ball
a
coming
live
off?
arm. You don't have a live arm, but it's not like you look at it and technically it's like, oh, there's something a little funky. It's just you don't have that live of an arm.
Anyways,
Everything he does is kind of like slow and steady,
Yeah.
but like he's
Yeah.
so
He's unreal.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
it's
he's another guy
crazy.
I have some respect for.
It's great if you don't really know pro pickleball and you see him, you're like, he never passes the eye test until he's on the podium.
Really? Oh, I think he does.
Because
I
of
think
the
in terms
size
of like
because-
making balls, but in
Because,
terms of
yeah,
like
it doesn't
other
look
high
flashy.
level,
I guess
like-
he's not flashy in
yeah,
the slightest,
but-
but
yeah,
he's
it
unreal.
makes it
But
work.
anyways,
Yeah. of course.
he's unreal. He's unreal for sure. Switching a little bit to mixed. Dekel wanted me to bring this up. You're 0-9 since 2023 in the gold medal matches. I don't know why he wanted to bring that up.
That's actually
Nice.
not mine, but that's okay. Blame it on me.
Yeah.
I'm not 0-9. Me and Andre won.
I know.
There you go.
That was a bait. I wanted to see if you really knew your stats.
You remember the wins
Yeah.
when you don't get many of them on Sunday.
I mean, again, silver in a fully stacked ish main draw is hats off to you. But you guys fall in 3 to Gabe and Jesse. So Gabe's obviously a good friend, jumped off a building with him, teammate. The question Dekel and I were thinking about is like, what is Gabe doing differently in mixed than he had ever done on the tour, or definitely within MLP?
Right, because with Kate, he hasn't been doing great in MLP, and even before, I think on the tour,
I wouldn't even say he's done okay.
Yeah, no, hasn't been great.
He's under delivered. He's ceiling super high.
On the tour he had a couple of good runs, and then now wins gold with Jesse, which is amazing, and he played unreal. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think was the difference?
I think for one, I think Jesse kept him very focused on what needed to happen.
The game plan. She's very good at that.
Yes, like they definitely, friendly banter. They're friends, but also I think Jesse's presence was probably good for him in that regard, because he does get, he'll string together a few hot points.
Okay.
And then it's
too much.
And then it's too much. It's too crazy. It doesn't work, and then he loses confidence. So I think.
So she gets him.
I think
Jesse grounds him.
Yeah, I think Jesse was good in that regard, and then, I couldn't really tell you honestly, but he was very good decisions. He's so talented, and I felt like he was, against me at least, he was reading me very well, because Gabe's power is not all world or insane. His hands are very good,
very quick,
but he's not the best at just attacking a woman head on. But he was doing a really good job of moving, and anytime he has a forehand out of the air, he's very good.
Yeah, crazy long.
But he was getting to the line. I thought he was getting to the line the best I've ever seen him.
Okay. He's got the most casual, just like
that is a place where he struggles, where he's below
Yeah.
average. I think at the line, Gabe is the best right side player in the game by a pretty far margin, personally. But getting to the line, he's definitely below average, I think, for the top men. But once he's there, he's unreal. So I think he was getting to the line exceptionally well in mixed.
Yeah.
And how is it playing against Gabe and Hayden, when you're teammates and very very close? All of you, every freaking post of St. Louis is chemistry. You don't even need to look what you guys are saying. It's all chemistry. Yeah, it's a meme. It is a meme.
Yeah.
It's fine playing them. It's easy. It's not a big deal.
All right, just another player.
When you're a winner,
I love them. I'm super fond of them and everything, but playing against them, it's no different.
A bit more trash talk, or no?
I think between the two of them, yes, far more, but I don't really do that too much. The most is maybe early in a match.
You just scream. You don't
really. I don't
trash talk.
I'm just very intense, and I get loud, but I don't talk really.
You do the scream.
Yeah, I do that a little bit. I saw Paris Todd do it once.
Oh yeah.
I latched on.
Wasn't there a time that you did both of you together at the same time? Wasn't that a picture of that?
I don't recall, but it could be. Okay. We did play a few together.
I feel like you and Rachel had a few of those kaleidoscope moments where it happened at the same time, post.
We definitely scream and.
Yeah, you scream, but you clenched and you.
I don't know if our movements are super in sync, but we definitely scream in sync a lot.
We should turn it into synchronized swimming, where it just becomes super.
I don't think we need to do that.
Super mirrored. I mean, why not? I mean, the Johnsons do it when they go for the same middle return.
Oh, that was crazy. The twins. Yeah.
They converged.
They did a third. Both of them were going for the third, and both of them hit it somehow in the same exact motion. It was freaky. You got to look it up.
Whoa. Okay.
We'll send it to you. One thing I want to experiment with this question though, you're super high level women. You've played against the best men in the world. You beat a lot of the men, and you're playing against Gabe, who's very good when he gets to the kitchen. Can you tell us can you share with an amateur who's a 5-0 what it's like to face Gabe at the kitchen? What's not available to you? What are you thinking about? What are you mindful of? When you have a Gabe who's 6 foot and can, I'm visualizing the court, take so much of it and attack out of the air, and Ernie, it's what goes through your head when the point shapes up?
I think you just feel very squeezed, honestly. And also Jessie was pulling with really, really high success on James. Her attacks were really
middle attacks.
Yeah, she didn't mix up her spots too much, but it kept working. Then I got hit trying to cover it.
Oh, really?
So I felt very, very squeezed, honestly, when he's moving that well. And it's like I said, I'm not really scared of Gabe hitting a backhand off the bounce. He's not known for his two-hand or anything, but when he had Ernie'd me successfully, the Ernie is very mental, right? Yeah. It's a very mental shot because it's such an FU and everything. You really remember getting Ernied as a
Yeah.
woman, and so that will make you scared, even if you generally you're gonna get away with that like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times. If you get Ernied like once or twice, it really affects you. And I think I was not dinking behind Gabe enough because I had gotten Ernied a couple times early. So that's definitely like something. I also don't think I was attacking quite enough, but it's really tough when you're already a little rattled. I just felt very, very squeezed.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's tough when a guy's moving that much, having success. He's playing very well. You just feel like very squeezed, like you don't have much space to hit into.
Yeah. It's helpful. Because it's, by the
I
way,
think the Ernie is so important for men to have in most.
Hey,
just for the mental
Kwong,
factor.
I'll try to work on it.
If you're listening,
come on.
Yeah.
You get me more when I reset though than when I dink. It's when I reset.
A little bit of both. I feel like
More
you
of the
do
resetting.
like you kind of see when you're like, yeah.
Well, you must not be seeing it that well.
I do earn you every time. I do earn you.
Okay.
And then in MLP, I kind of stare you down.
Every time I win.
Every time like the last couple of times MLP, one time we had match point, then next night like it was really close.
Yeah, you kind of choked.
Thank you. Yeah, I did miss that forehand. Next time I'll just go for the bag.
Yeah, do it.
Random question, but do you guys like the baseline cam or the kitchen cam? A lot of commentary on last week's.
I'm not opinionated on this, honestly. I'm not very picky with the viewpoint that they provide anyways. I also see people saying like this view is so terrible, and I don't really
think it's nice to change. I did kind of like the side, like the kitchen cam.
Yeah.
I don't know if like the whole match, but
I thought when it becomes settled, I thought it was the best representation of the shape and movement that pros are having, and how people do feel squeezed. But Dekel, you forgot to ask Anna, do you drill? He said he didn't.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't really ever see you drilling. Like, do you drill?
Right, because we always practice, we always play games, and I never seen you like drill at a tournament. Like I'm sure you've seen me sometimes drill with Tina or with Colin or like in the past with Viv or. How much do you drill at home, or is it also only games, or do you drill at tournaments at all?
I don't really drill at tournaments. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really happen, I guess. But I drill a lot at home. I drill more than I play, for sure. Often just with my parents.
Oh, really?
Actually,
I was gonna ask who with.
Yeah, often just with my parents.
So they just like feed you balls, or like just do like a certain.
Yeah. My dad was my tennis coach my whole life. He doesn't really see pickleball. Like he can't really
like understand.
Coach me too much with pickleball, but I'm very lucky. Like always happy to feed me balls, help me work on things like little technical stuff.
Nice.
Because obviously the strokes are pretty similar. So I do that a lot. And then my mom is like not that good, but she's always happy to just be there and get hit a lot. So
hey, this is like me and Ryan.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I'm really lucky in that situation. I think that in the last like couple months, a lot of the things that I've worked on with them are starting to translate, like the off-speed stuff. I think my ball manipulation is definitely improving. Just little technical things. So yeah, I do that, and then
cool.
I drill with Millie Rain. Times now Paris is there. I'm excited to drill with her a lot. Some 5-0 guys. Like I definitely drill more than I play games.
Okay. And who are your favorite people to practice with at tournaments, like games?
I mean, you and Tina's a lot. We always play. I always play with them.
Yeah, I feel like almost every tournament we practice.
Yeah.
Mix.
Is that because you like playing against Dekel, or do you like
she
learning more about Tina?
She just, I need some confidence.
No, I don't know. It just works out well because I don't play singles and they are not singles. And so there's always like, there's always like, there's not too many people around where both people are not, not playing singles. So that's one thing that does make it quite convenient.
So it's only convenience. It's not like,
it's both. It's not good practice. And it's like a habit at this point. It's a habit,
Winners have habits, Dekel. Learn, dude.
I guess I need some habits.
Other than that, no one really. I feel like for women, it's kind of different every time. I don't know. For one thing, the women's seating also like we're usually both seated pretty high. So if we were to play, we'd be in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So not that it really matters too much to play with someone close to you in the draw. We all kind of know each other, but that's one part of it. Whereas in women's, like the partnerships change so much, the seating changes so much that I don't think there's too much consistency because you're trying to find something on the other half of the draw, but it's different all the time.
Yeah. Interesting.
I also play more mixed rec than women's rec, definitely because everyone gets the tournament Thursday, mixed is Friday.
Yeah.
So you prioritize that.
Huh. So. If Dekel at an opening, would you play mix with him?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, wow.
What's exciting about that as a mixed partnership, and what's concerning? What would you have to like be like? Hey, we gotta.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I think a big thing in mix, it's not all world or anything, but is just pure like put away power.
Yeah.
Dekel definitely has that. The overheads are not coming back much at all, and that is, I don't know that, but it's a big luxury. It's a big luxury. Like with James, that when the ball's up, it's probably
he's the best.
I think him and Thomas Wilson.
Thomas is really good.
Yeah, tees overhead also doesn't really.
What about J-Dub too?
Yeah.
J-Dub's
But
angled
not-
overhead.
Yours is not as good as theirs, like, but it's still very good. It's above the threshold to where I'm like that's like a night
I'm
overhead.
above average.
Yeah.
No, it's like above the threshold of like guys with like overheads that hardly come back, and it's like definitely Dekel, Thomas, James, like I think Ben also,
Yeah.
a few others I'm probably forgetting, but whereas like guys like Andre, Federico, like that point, there's a good chance it's still going.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't play with them. I'm not saying that, but
No,
that's
yeah. We get it.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
plus, for sure. That, and then ability
What
to
any
take a lot of court on fourths, very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
It's
you know.
yeah. That's the thing
And
that like
size. How tall are you, Dekel?
6'3".
You can't teach 6'3".
boom. You can't. You
know,
heard it
honestly,
here.
You can't teach that kind of reach.
Yeah, that's cool.
What would be concerning? What do I need to work on?
Concerning. As soon as you miss a serve, you start pushing them.
Especially when the new serve, the PPA serve rule, whatever. Now I feel like I'm doing better again. I did not like the old serve.
Hey, the way people were serving today, you should have full clearance for whatever you want to do.
Everything's not that I'm like perfect or anything, but I think sometimes like your drive goes off. I would say sometimes like
can be hot and cold.
Yeah, but when it's hot, it's like really good. But it's not even like I'm the best to take advantage of that. I'm not like the best crasher, anyways. But other things that are sometimes you do too much tricky stuff.
Tricky stuff
You
with
do
my
too much.
forehand
You
or
do too
backhand
much.
or what?
You'll do both.
Or just
You'll
in
do
general.
both. You'll do too much tricky stuff. It's
I
like,
have tricks. I don't
you
even.
got a woman
I
in
have
front of
tricks?
you. Brute force.
Yes,
Don't
for
be
sure.
a gentleman.
For sure.
Don't be a gentleman. There's no
Just
consent.
hard.
That maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay? You have to edit that out. You have to edit that out.
We
But
will.
that's what mixed is, honestly. Like the best mix is just I'm a man.
Well, that's what
you're
James has
tall,
shared on his
you're
pod
me.
for a year. It's just like in mixed, I hit it hard, I serve hard, I
She's
drive
just
hard,
giving
I
me
crash
tips how
hard.
to beat her next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I mean, don't
Okay.
stop trying tricky stuff at me. It's disrespectful.
All right. Just
That's
hard.
hey,
yeah.
that's our term. That's originating at the
Oh,
lab.
Ryan,
It is-
Those would be the thing. The serve, I'm kind of joking there, but
well,
but
it is true though.
think
It is
a
true.
little
We
too-
remind him of that.
sometimes
No, I didn't.
sometimes a little too tricky, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The disrespectful thing is Ryan. Every time I try, like we're practicing, so I'm trying like new things or like
Yeah.
new stuff. And every time it's something that is a bit weird or doesn't work, and he gets it, and every time it's disrespectful. Just so he's actually disrespected. Like he feels disrespected.
I mean, like I'm not as
Even
good
if it
as
works,
you, but I
it's
mean,
like why would you do that? Like that's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I'm not your nephew,
I think
bro.
the tricky, disrespectful stuff is what gave. Besides, like I wasn't very good at avoiding men, when I first started. But when you're new, like as a woman, that stuff is really like, wait, what is even going on? Like I didn't see that coming. But then once like seen it enough times, like, and there's just a better read and familiarity, then it's.
Can you think
Yeah,
of
if it's
a
trick
male
you do
that's
once or
still
twice, then it works. But if it's like if the people know you, it's like the trick is not going to work anymore.
Anna? Can you
But
think
he
of
keeps trying
It's not
on
working.
me.
the male ego? It'll persevere.
It'll
Brute-
work. It'll
brute
work.
force. Anna, can you think of like a male who tries tricky stuff where you're like everybody kind of knows if you've been on tour? It's like, dude, you should cut this out. Like, what's the?
When Gabe would do this one
Oh,
and
yeah.
flip the paddle, but he has stopped doing that. But when he would do this one and flip the paddle,
Yeah.
that's like the prime example, probably.
Yeah.
Trying to think of someone else who tries something like cheeky.
I mean, this DJ tries a bunch of stuff. Zane has a lot of slippery stuff, and I feel like it works on girls that haven't played him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing really comes to
Interesting.
mind for me that's obvious other than this thing
Yeah.
that Gabe used to do.
I've liked Gabe not going like scrambling over and then doing that like fake shoulder shimmy and just
Yeah.
dropping the ball back to the backhand of the
For
the
sure.
guy. It's like
Like do it once. You don't need to do it like 3 or 4 times in a row.
yeah, because he also didn't pull from it. Like I remember watching him in so many mixed matches. Like he does it. But I'm like, you
For
haven't
sure.
set yourself up to do it. So
And I've been telling him too, like, pull that ball inside in because I'm so stressed out trying to help
yeah,
in the middle in case you do pull it inside in.
Yeah.
And he had a sick clip of doing that against Vivian David and Federico where he did that and then he immediately started running and he got it.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah.
That's cool.
I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of the game.
My God.
I love it. No.
Fucking winner. I'm about to go fucking win.
Okay. Well, I don't want to.
Blackjack. I'm not touching craps.
Dekel's
I might
gonna
play some slots tonight.
gamble for the first time.
I think it's rigged. I don't want to play slots, but
yeah.
I'm a team player, so I might play a little bit.
There we go.
But I'm not playing craps. That was terrible luck from yesterday.
Ruined
my night. I would have been up like 200, but I'm up 2.
Okay, you're with a rancher. You're with Tina Pisnik this week in women's, which is cool. Very exciting. What would you bet? Like, what is the minimum outcome that you would bet $1,000 on? Like, you will definitely get to the semis. That's $1,000, or you will definitely get to the finals. That's $1,000, or we are going to win. That's $1,000. What do you?
Let's give it a higher bet. Like
okay.
I would bet on a semifinal. I haven't really looked at our draw, but I think me and Tina are super solid. Like we should definitely make the semifinal. Like, you know,
$5,000 on the semifinal. Boom. There we go.
If you guys want to take that bet, I'll bet on myself to make a semifinal. You guys want to take that bet?
No, I'm not taking the under.
No, we Ryan is the house.
We want Tina to crush. I want you to crush. That's cool. Anyways, but man, the courts are going to be bad.
They're tricky.
It's tough, but they look beautiful from afar when you look over through the
beautiful.
room.
The hotel's great. It looks amazing.
17 restaurants.
It's a fun place.
Are they handing out condoms like it's Olympic Village or no? Like what? That's a question.
No.
Are they handing out condoms?
I haven't gotten any. No.
I mean, after the stint that you guys have been on for 5 or 6 weeks in this year, and a cup in Vegas with progression, I'm like, I don't know, crazy stuff's gonna happen on.
Yeah.
But anyways, Dekel, any last questions for Anna? Silver and gold medalists. I think this was a fun sesh.
Yeah, no, it's great. What is your, like, how much max are you going to lose tonight?
I have $500 on me right now. I'm going straight downstairs.
So 500?
Oh, but I'm actually like pretty frugal. Like, it would really hurt me to lose like more than 200, I think, honestly. Like yesterday I was winning on blackjack a lot, but I didn't do like always just $25 hands. Yeah. And once I was like about 200 up, I came with 3, I had 5. Like that's why I stopped at 302 because I was like, I'm not losing money tonight. So even though I was in full degen mode, everyone should know I got told to watch my language at a casino.
Wow.
I got told to watch my language. I was screaming
with no drinks.
At Dylan with no drinks. It's all me. All me.
All natural.
All natural. Because I was telling Dylan and Yates that they were shit. We had good luck. We're playing craps. 3 people do good. Goes Dylan Yates. It's over. They're shite. And I was not pleased about it. I was not pleased. And this guy was like so uptight. I'm having a good time. Bring the passion, the energy, the intensity.
Yeah.
And then, so I might get told off again. I was like, this was my first time gambling. I was a complete degenerate. It was so fun.
The next 4 days are going to be fun.
Everyone, I'm not going to get addicted. I'm like not stupid, but it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Okay. Well, let's raise the bet with Anna Bright on Raise the Bar. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a great week.
Yes, thanks for joining.
And
thank you guys for joining as well.
The Anna Bright show.
The AV show, yeah. Thank you.
I told Dekel I was going
to take over. You're a left side podcaster.
That's why I'm on the
right.
That's why
here. I sat here. Dekel was out of the room. He had to handle something, and I was in here.
Yeah.
I sat in this chair.
There we go. Make them work.
Alpha female behavior.
Okay, we're back. Last night, late night recording with Anna. It's great to have her in. and really fun energy, nuanced comments about the game of pickle, and she's a winner on the tables and on the court. So let's see how her week.
Made sure to that we are aware of that.
Yes. Just like leadership, you got to hit people over the head with the same message. So, anyways, we're going to resume our episode of Raise the Bar, and thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to talk about a little bit about this week in pickle for each of us, and then we're going to get into new segment alert Q&A. A lot of you guys were nice enough to write in, so we'll be going through that, and then we'll have a juicy tidbit for you at the end. So people have been really responding to that well. But let's get into the Q&A, and then we'll talk about this week in pickle.
All right.
Or what do you want to do?
Yeah. No. Let's do the quick this week in pickle, and then we'll do it.
You're in Vegas, Fontainebleau.
Yes. Yep.
Playing.
Yep.
What's going on?
I got here. First of all, I got here a couple of days ago from Utah. Utah. I played with Colin Johns and Tina Pisnick, of course. So first was with Tina. We had a good prep. I thought we had quite a few games there. It's the first time we played on the those carpet. It's not a pickle roll. It's
not pickle roll.
Not pickle roll. Different company. But that type of surface in a it's on concrete. They put it indoors. I thought the setup was really nice. It looked really nice. The courts are not ideal. The courts there's quite a few bad bounces, and depends on which court. Some of the courts were better than others. I think it depends also a lot on the surface you put it on. So like where in that room you put it on, and if there's something underneath. So some of the courts were good, some not very good, which caused some interesting bounces and situations. It was a little bit tight, like the fences are a little bit too close, like the carpet's maybe not big enough. I know it's something they will work on for the next time. But yeah, it was nice that it was downtown. You got a bunch of restaurants right next to you, a lot of hotels that you can stay at. So I really enjoyed the setup. It was nice. Indoors, so everything, no wind or anything. It was actually pretty cold in there.
I saw a lot of people with layers on.
They cranked the AC for sure, which is actually the same here in Vegas. So the ball played really hard. So it was fast. The courts, the bounces are lower, but the surface itself is very gritty. So it's a little interesting combination.
Yeah.
People going for their serves a lot more. I actually thought there'll be a lot more missed returns, especially with the, back to the regular serve rules and indoors and low bounces. But people were, again, handling the serves just fine. Maybe like 1% of 2 more missed returns, but really nothing significant.
Big stats guy. You're trying to compete with.
I mean, I didn't get stats on this one, but that was my feel. Just like maybe very slight.
1 to 2%. Yeah.
Now I want to stat it just to see if I was right. So just very quick, me and Tina won our first. We got a bye, then won our first round relatively handily. Played pretty well in that one. Then we played Pablo and Mari, and we started really well. We won the first game like 11-5 or so. We were up in game 2 like 3-0 and like, I don't know, 6-4-ish. I don't know. Then that game kind of got very close and back and forth, and we lost at 11-9. Then I thought it was good level from both in game 2. Then game 3 we dropped our level a little bit. We didn't get to the kitchen enough, missed a couple easy shots. Played our patterns not as well as I thought as we should have. Like I would have done a few things differently. We got to a bad start and lost that game relatively handily, like 11-4 or something like that. So that was not great. Being close to winning that, and all the teams are good. We know like every match is tough, and Mari and Pablo end up getting to the semis. They beat Dylan and Tyra after, but like I feel like that draw was open for everybody. Like there's a lot of good teams always, but um, anybody could have made the final or won that tournament. No Ben and Annalie, kind of everybody feels that way too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but kudos to them. They did play well. They picked up their level in the middle of game two, and we dropped it a bit. So we instead of pushing our will, as if you want to say that, being aggressive, then we kind of reacted to what they were doing. So that is my biggest regret in that match.
Got it.
And then next day played with Colin Johns. We started the day not great. We were down like 7-0 right away, like drive and crash in these fast courts, low bouncing. Yeah, so not a great start for us. And then we clawed back our way in that game and didn't win it 11-9, but we felt like we were more into the match. Won the next game 11-1. We were up 10-0, so it was easy second game. And then third game again went back and forth from the very beginning. First of all, we played Ryan Fu and Max Freeman, I think. So Max
is playing with James this weekend.
Yeah,
too.
Max playing with James this week. Both of them are friends of James. Training with him. Max
Ryan
is
Fu
newer.
is like a clone of James. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, but both of them. Just Max is like a lefty clone of James.
Gearbox clone.
But he's got more power than Ryan, but Ryan is a little bit more consistent, probably.
Yeah.
They played well. We didn't play our best game, but anyway, third game was a battle. We were down like 9-6. At like 8-6, Colin got hit in the face, which nobody likes, but it kind of caused a little bit more energy on court, which actually I think helped us in the end because we kind of got back a little bit more fiery after and won a few more points and ended up winning that match 12-10 in the third. So that was a doozy first round. But they played well. They definitely surprised us. And then second match, I thought we started a lot better. We won first game pretty easy, lost the second in a close one, and then won the third relatively easy. We played Callan Dawson and Kento.
Got it.
Yeah. Then quarterfinals, we played against Federico and Augie. I thought we played really well for the first game and a half. We won the first relatively easy again, 11-6 maybe, but like we were in control, and especially in the kitchen. The points they were winning were the drive and crashes and stuff like that. In the kitchen, we were really controlling it, being aggressive and also countering well. And then there was a shift. We were up like 7-5 maybe in the second, and they caught a few good spots. They caught us again in a few drive and crashes. Momentum really shifted fast, and we lost that game 11-7 and started the same way in the third, big deficit, and there was a really big shift in energy and momentum there, and we never really recovered.
Dude, Fed's a fighter.
That's crazy. for sure. He's playing well, consistent. He's gonna stay there, and until the end, and that's what you should do, and everybody should do.
I don't know if this is anecdotal, but I've seen him, especially in men's, have quite a few slow starts. Like the first game's not clean or whatever, but like there's just this underlying confidence and fight that like they're gonna get their groove. Like unless they're really overmatched, unless they're the upper favorite, that's not even a word. Unless they're cruising against a first round qualities team, every other match kind of starts off slow and they may not go their way, but then it's like it comes back to them. It's really it's really interesting. But yeah, it can swing in a hurry. I was watching that one live. I was like, oh, damn. But first time partnership for them.
Yeah. And first time I'm playing with Colin since like a year and a half ago. We kind of try to play once a year together when Ben is skipping a tournament. We're good friends, so we like to do that. So it was fun. It was fun playing with him. Definitely different. Every partnership is different, so kind of slow start for us for the day. But I felt like the quarters we played well for the first half of that match. Then it did get away from us quick, a bit too quick, which is unfortunate. But it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, then went to Zion
I was
for a
gonna
half a
say,
day.
yeah, the results weren't
Yeah,
great, but the nature was.
yeah. So a little bit
Do you
disappointed, of
highly
course,
recommend?
with the results. Yeah, but enjoyed half a day in Zion. So went there Sunday night, did a little short hike, and then half a day on Monday. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I feel like everybody knows that. If you haven't been there, highly recommended. And then yeah, drove to Vegas. Me and Tina went to practice right away. I was there with Tina and Maya. So yeah, practice with Tina like 6 or 7 p.m. In Vegas. Get used to the new courts. They're same against the same roll on court, just on a platform, just kind of raise it because it's on the like the hall there is on the carpet, so it's tight. It's tight. Two, the bounces are not great. Again, yeah, again, some courts are better than others. So I think center court is pretty good. From what I heard, I haven't played on it. I played on grandstand, and it was definitely better than most of the other courts. So um, yeah,
It's tough. Tough.
yeah,
I,
it's
will-
not,
I
not ideal conditions, but it is beautiful. It is
It's gonna
beautiful.
show well. It's gonna show well,
Yeah,
especially they fill championship court and they got that like kind of
yeah,
that lift rig that has the lights and everything. But I will interject here and say I think sometimes picklers are a little, I don't say soft, but they're a little particular about conditions because
yeah,
there's been a lot of changing elements and it is all about feel now and the margins of error are very small. So I get that. But these courts last week and this week, it's very real. It's not just like, oh, it's slightly slick or the ball was playing soft. This is like not how you would draw it up,
yeah.
especially in 2024 with you know a real tour. Like this is
For for
it,
sure, it's not ideal.
it
It's
feels like
not.
the pickle slam. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, this is the only way we can put on pickleball at this in this place, and the marketing and the showbiz outweigh it. Like this is a tough look for people trying to make a living
yeah,
doing this.
and I'm sure they'll they have a lot of notes of how to make it better for next time, and it's the first time they're doing tournaments like that, so I'm sure the next times will
Did you
be
play in
better.
the Vizzy though, or
You know what?
what was the other Vegas, the Mandalay Bay, like
No, yeah,
BMX?
I did not play in that one, so I don't know how it
Uh,
was. That was a
yeah,
little while ago, almost 2 years.
I mean, sorry, I've just been in the game for a while, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Okay, and then
so
you're
hopefully
playing.
next time they do it, the carpets are a little bit bigger. Maybe they put some more padding underneath too, or just kind of another layer of surface to make the bounces more even. I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll figure out ways to make it
you're
better.
nice. You're too nice. So you're playing with Zane. You're the 7th seed in men's, and then
Yes.
you're playing with
Yeah,
Tina.
playing with Zane and Tina. Yeah, very excited. It's really fun here. Like just being in the hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. Very everything is very convenient. Yeah, excited
Do
for
you
a
have to
week in
pay for
Vegas.
your own room, or does the tour put you up?
Yeah, no, we pay for our own room. You have everybody gets like a stipend for
Yeah,
each tournament that you go to. It covers a portion.
yeah,
But yeah.
cool.
Um,
Um, but it's progression, so it's a cup. There's some points on the line
yeah,
here, but it's a
yeah, for sure.
progression, so you'll be there for quite a few days. And
Hmm.
then later, we're literally recording in the morning, but today you have two matches
Yeah, yep.
in a few
Mix
hours. So
first, and then men's doubles.
look at you dedicated to the content game before the encore game. Look at that.
It's
Um,
it's a part of it. Also, we recorded the match analysis basically just to go over the players that we're playing against. So it's a little bit of both.
yeah, no, it's
Getting preparation for the match
good
and
combo.
recording it. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other notes? I feel like that's pretty complete. But any other?
Yeah, that's been my week.
My week's super bulleted, but grinding on all things pickle. The lab is picking up. We've got a lot of bookings. We have a new kind of fun offering called Pods that we're going to expose, I think, later today, where people can have like recurring time to the lab and get kind of gameplay coaching from Carlos and I. So if you have a group of 4 to 6 that really wants to get better and show up once or twice a week, like that's the offering for you. And then we're putting
Nice,
sponsors on the sidewall, which has been fun. And
nice.
a little stressful. It's a little bit of an art project at times from
Eh.
two guys who are not artists. But then the Ranchers were planning a team retreat, so there's some logistics that go into getting the team here to have fun and bond and practice. So that's cool. And then I've had to watch a lot of pickleball on shitty streams so far. Yesterday round of 64, but yeah, it's been pretty good in here in Austin. Go
All right,
home.
good.
I go
Glad
home to
the lab is picking up. I mean, I hope it won't. Like personally, I hope it doesn't pick up too much, so I can
Don't
still
worry.
play there all the time,
Don't
or
worry.
at least you hold my
Oh,
slot for me.
one
But
training thing is, and
yeah,
all these tennis folks, drop feeds. Carlos and I were drilling yesterday, and he was doing a lot of drop feeds for me on baseline kind of drives, and then telling me where to hit it too. And you have to kind
okay.
of pivot and get around the ball. I'm like, this is cool. I think I'm gonna start drop feeding myself on drops too. Like, I think drop feeds is something to explore in a really intense way. And this Chris Hayworth evidently just does drop feeds for his baseline
Really,
strokes.
I've never tried it actually. I've seen you do it a lot, and I'm like maybe I should try it. Definitely worth exploring.
Yeah. I'm kind of dinks, lobs from the kitchen, some drops, some hybrid drives. I'm like, man, drop feeds are pretty easy because you can do it by yourself. Your friend can help you make it a little more dynamic, but it really allows you to fine tune some of the body movement or grip pressure or wrist. It's
Yeah,
like versus you get the machine at
it's very
30
it's
miles
very
per hour.
controlled. It's very
Yeah,
controlled for technique.
you get the dial.
Uh,
If it's really all about touch and ball manipulation now, like this is probably more aligned with that than a ball machine, to be honest. So, anyways,
all right.
something to keep tabs on. But it was true lab work, and then off camera or off recording, Anna Bright and you and I came up with big brain, new shot, new pattern. I
That
expect
was
you to use that,
mostly you.
but it
But
was +1 by you guys.
yeah, no, it's
We'll
something
tell.
to try. It's something to try.
I Okay, we'll get into it later.
No,
But let's get
you have some
into
good. You definitely have some good ideas. You definitely have some good ideas.
good idea again.
No, there were a few already that like I started implementing. But yeah, that one, yeah, we'll reveal it at a later point after we test it
Let's
out.
just say AJ Kohler would like it, but
AJ would
there's a
love it.
little bit of thought that goes into pulling
Yeah.
this off. Anyway, so at Raise the Bar PB is the look at that Raise the Bar PB on IG. We put out the Q&A, so let's head into that segment. Dekel, this is gonna be a little bit rapid fire.
All right.
Ellie K, thank you for multiple inquiries, but she said, funny thing I noticed is, where do you get all the church pews in the lab? The landlord had some beautiful furniture and church pews, and we needed some group seating, so they were nice enough to kind of let us use those. It's a fun little feature. Thank you for noticing it. Ali K also said, how do you deal with playing on different surfaces? Like, it's meant to be played on concrete, acrylic paint, and sand. Obviously, these last 2 weeks, like how do pros deal with it other than voicing their concerns on IG in a podcast?
Yeah. It definitely getting early and getting adjusted to it, adjusted to the bounce. Like your body gets used to different things, so that's one of them. Getting into the rhythm with it, finding out what works and what doesn't. Every surface plays a little bit different. Or if you're like in higher elevation or lower elevation, everything is always a little bit different. So it's not like abnormal for us to have stuff to deal with. It seems like every week is the same, but every week there's something different.
It's a little bit like golf, and I think
Yeah.
there will be a much more of an appreciation that in the years to come, where they're like, hey, it's not actually like golf courses are different, the pins are different, the weather's different, but
Yeah.
like actually the weather's different for pickle, the surfaces are different,
Yeah.
the ball's playing different, the altitude.
Bristol. Bristol. We had the faster surface, and some places a grittier surface. This one bounces lower. This one is here in elevation, wind, no wind, humidity, dry. It's everything is different. So.
Slugger Route, thank you for following and asking, but they said not a fan of the side angle. I think that's the kitchen cam from the last PPA.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one that prefers baseline angle? We talked about this last night. I prefer the kitchen cam when it's a settled point. I think it shows off the skill really well of the four players, and anything that's new is going to be a little bit jostling. But you same?
Yeah, I
Preference?
like
Okay.
the side angle. I don't know if like the whole match, some points, or it's maybe the start of the point to show the whole, like to show it from the back, and then maybe go to the side angle, like you said,
Yeah.
when the point was more established. I would mix the two.
Okay.
That's my opinion at the moment.
Future of scoring in like rally, MLP, or PPA side out.
Uh, I like playing inside out more, but I do understand the rally scoring for TV and for betting in the future. I mean, we already have it, but
Yeah.
I'm not leaning heavily one way or another. Slightly prefer the regular scoring. Um, I think it's probably going to be in the direction of the rally.
Interesting. Real J Willie. Where What do you miss most about being in Israel or not being in Israel?
Oh yeah. I mean, my family now moved to Austin, most of them. So in general, I miss mostly my friends, and some spots that I like. Certain parts of the like the food, a little bit of the culture. But I am going to visit. Going to try to visit once every year or two, which is not a lot, but it's something.
Yeah.
So yeah, friends are the main things. It was family and friends, and yeah, now thankfully family is closer. But
How do you deal with being frustrated with yourself on the court?
yeah,
From Keegan
that's
Force.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Try to find your happy place. I mean, we all know, I feel like, what calms us down, or how we like, or we know when we're a bit more upset than we should be. Take a time out, very important, so it doesn't drag for more points. Just try to find that reset, something that resets you, for the next point. There we need to have very short memory. Federer had this, like, not interview. He went, like, speech, and he was like, we need to have, like, very very short memory, because you lose so many points. Like, he was
Yeah, he won
one of
like
the best.
70% of his matches,
Yeah,
but only won
right. But
53%
like
of the
51,
points. Yeah,
52, whatever percentage that was of his points. So loses almost half his points. So if you drag on each point that you lose, you won't be in a good place, and you'll lose a lot more
yeah,
points. So in the large scheme of things, it's just a point. And then you just fight as hard as you can for the next one.
got it.
Yeah. So timeouts, finding your piece in certain things, and just knowing it's just a point, and the next one counts just as much.
Joey Wild, are the boys coming to play the PPA stop in Australia next year? Shout out to Joey,
Yeah,
top rated in the continent.
planning on it, and
Okay,
I heard a bunch of players, top players, are planning to play it. I think everybody wants to go to Australia, so I think, I don't know, like, we still don't have all the details for it, but I believe you'll see quite a few top pros there.
yeah, everyone seems to be raising
Hopefully
their
me
hand.
included.
Chris Cantino, big friend of the pod and supporter. Uh, will the meta shift towards alpha right side guys teaming up with beta forehands on the left?
All right, what do you think?
I think it will have a correction towards that way. I don't know if that is the dominant strategy, but it is being shown pretty regularly with two or three kind of four individuals there's a kind of a gap there to
Mm-hmm.
exploit. I think I, I think the full progression of that is to an aggressive right side player with their forehand on the outside, as well as a lefty on the left.
A
So
lefty on the left.
yeah, because I think in time you'll have to have
Yeah,
landed
but then you
backhand
have
to cover the
both
middle.
backends in the middle.
Yeah, but if you're athletic and hoppy enough laterally in working in tandem, I don't
Yeah,
think that it's the biggest deal. And I think it's easier to create off the bounce or lobs
with
off
your
the
forehand.
forehand. So
Yeah, I mean, but some players do that very well off their backhand. So I feel like
some, but it's so few.
yeah, it's more. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the lefty on the left. It would be
Well,
the
that's
mix.
my own take, but I do think right now in
Right.
the next 6 months we're going to see a lot of people inspired to try to be Gabe Hayden.
Yeah, for sure. I do think it's trending in that direction, but I don't know if it like that'll be the new meta. I think uh, left side players will still in general be more aggressive, but you'll see more of the more consistent left side players that pair up with the more aggressive right side players. I think we'll just see more combinations of everything.
Yeah.
And maybe like the combination that you said, lefty on the left. I don't think it'll be the new meta, but I think we might see it. I think
I think one or two teams could focus on that and be like, I think Augie on the left. And
yeah, he's got a good forehand speed up. Is
like,
definitely better than his backhand.
Yeah, like
but yeah, I think we'll just see more different options for teams and just not like it used to be just the passive consistent player on the right and the aggressive on the left. Now we'll just see a lot of just more different combinations.
I think everybody has permission to pursue whatever they think is best, which is fun.
There's so many options to play, which is what makes it fun.
Do you will Wild or Pickleball, will PPA incorporate more progressive draws next year? Do you think?
I don't know.
Okay. We need short answers because we're running over time. We need short answer. We don't need.
I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it would be similar to this year, but I don't know.
And then, do pros prefer that approach? So, as a player, do you like progressive, or what's the main?
I think there's a little bit of a split there. A lot of players that play singles. I mean, all three events, they prefer it, so they don't play singles the whole day. And just knowing when they play each match. Personally, I prefer the regular and not progressive, the traditional. So I know there's a lot of players that do prefer the traditional. So it's a little bit of a split. So I don't know what kind of split it is. Yeah.
Our friend Austin Dempsey from the Austin area, who influenced you to start a pod? Just kidding. Because he did. He said, I would like to see a pod from the lab or whatever. Yeah. But he said, just watched episode 4. Dekel, get your $50 ready. That's a callback to Dekel challenging anyone.
Hey, you're all welcome to try and send me that footage. But don't waste your time too much.
RDev42 asked, do you use peripheral vision when choosing to hit the ball? Is this trainable to improve? I think this kind of gets to the question I was asking in Beer City. Do people full track the ball from their opponent to their partner and off their paddle back out? Or is it more like a mindfulness and a peripheral vision of like, hey, it's out of sight, but I don't need to turn because if they do something crazy and that ball gets sent to the opponent and it's coming to me, I can't do that, And so,
no, you can't always go back to see your partner. It depends. Like on return you can, but like in hand speeds, like sometimes you shouldn't.
Where Deborah, shout out to Deborah. Where is Pickleball Getaways going in 2025?
Oh, Pickleball Getaways. We're going a lot of places. We're going to Mexico, Costa Rica, Antigua, Punta Cana, Turks and Caicos, Portugal, Spain, Croatia, Slovenia. I don't know if I'm missing one of them or
you're not reading from notes, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And I'll be on a few of them. Ben will be on a few of them. Hopefully we get Colin on one or two, and we got the rest of our crew that is amazing as well. So, check it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Where can they find more about Pickleball Getaways?
I mean, pickleballgetaways.com.
They got the .com.
Very, very simple. You can see all the spots there. You can send us an email at pickleballgetaways@gmail.com, and you can also send me a message on Insta or wherever if you want to know any info about it.
Highly recommend. Big net promoter score. They've been doing it for a few years. One of the earliest and the best. Watering Fern, thank you for the follow and the question. Do you think collegiate pickleball is good prep for pro? Why do you think OSU is best? Well, OSU is best. Props to you guys. Screw Virginia, North Carolina, Colin Schick's gone. I don't know if collegiate pickleball is the best. I think playing better players all the way up, and at the when you get to a certain level, the better players are going to be in the qualies of APP and PPA, and then in the main draw, and so that's where the best talent is. So anywhere you're getting structured, good, deliberate reps is good. Playing up is best, but ultimately you're going to have to tap into the talent of full-time and kind of very experienced people. Andrew Massey, why is pickleball not as fun as it used to be when I'm tipsy? We don't have an answer for that. Why can't pop-ups be my partner's fault? That's a great question. We like
They
guys
can be.
ask.
Why couldn't? Why not? Why not? They can.
It probably is. It probably is. And what is the key to a balanced investment portfolio of speed ups? That's a pretty good one. Let's. Amy Yarborough had asked in the comments, hey, what happens if you're not as kind of big and tall as Dekel? Can you still use your body weight to kind of create power on hitting a powerful serve, which is a juicy tidbit from last time?
Yeah.
And Dekel was nice enough to respond like, yes, certainly max out all that you have. Use your body, use your momentum within reason. It's not going to work as well as being 6'4" and 210, but use it and you can still max it out. We all have a lot more to go on that vector for sure. So
100%.
Anyways, I think that is most of them. I hopefully didn't miss them, but we're going to do this again. Maybe not every week because it does take a decent amount of time if we want to give you some real answers. But thank you everyone for tuning in, answering questions, giving us comments, like and subscribe, all that nonsense. But this has been fun for us, and it's going to be fun to watch Dekel later today on Showcase 2. And you and Zane, you better tear it up this week, guys. You better
gotta represent the lab in Austin.
Represent yourselves, represent the lab,
and ourselves,
and then raise the bar. Boom.
All
okay.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate all the love and support at events and everywhere. You can ask us anything in the comments. We like to reply there. Like Ryan said, like, subscribe. Thank you for the questions. We appreciate it. We'll do it. We'll definitely do it again. So keep an eye for more messages from us about questions.
Make comments, make questions, make balls. That's the recipe. That's the balanced portfolio. Anyways, see you guys. It's time for a juicy tidbit, and this one's going to be all about Dekel and all about the transition zone. It's going to be Dekel's approach to the transition zone. Very critical as you get up there in higher levels. You're going to have to make a lot of balls from here and make a lot of decisions. So I think you have a few pointed takes on your years of playing to become the 167th most talented male in the world. What's the first one that kind of comes to mind as you look at amateurs or kind of coach teammates?
I feel like a lot of people are coming from tennis, and yes, exactly. And I think they have to jump and do the big split step before every shot your opponent hits. And while we do want to be in a good position and stable, we waste time when we jump, and there's just, in my opinion, a better way to do it, which is kind of creeping in and being stable when you're hitting and not necessarily jumping. So we'll show you how I like to do it. There we go. So took a few shots, but I made it through the transition. We'll show it again, but really focus on my feet here. On that I'm being low, not jumping, and am still in a good position, stable when I'm hitting. Didn't make it this time. Do it again. All right. That one usually I would have countered when I'm already up at the kitchen line. But as you can see, I am not jumping when I'm before I'm about to hit, and through the whole way, I'm really low, in a good position and ready to move and go really anywhere that Ryan, my opponent, is hitting the ball to. So staying low, staying low gives me the opportunity, one, to push from my legs and go any direction I want, And 2, I'm in the transition area. It's very unlikely I'll get a high ball here. If I do get a high ball, it's probably going out. I want to be low. Most likely the ball is going to come to my feet. If I'm low, it's easier for me to return that ball. So whenever you guys are in the transition area, this should be your court position. This should be your ready position with your arms down and your knees bent in a low, stable position. And like I said, I kind of creep in while I'm playing, while I'm going in this way, rather than the jump. You want to show another one?
Sure.
Once we're in the kitchen, you can be aggressive and light right up.
Okay, let me just say something right now. The other thing that he knows that he wants to convey to you is patience.
Yes.
Patience. Patience through transition. What does patience through transition mean?
Patience means don't rush through the transition zone. It's a pretty big area. We know it's from the moment you hit the drop until you get to the kitchen. It's not just the midcourt. It's a pretty large transition area. You don't need to rush it. You don't need to avoid it. Some of us come from tennis. You don't want to be in the transition zone because it's not a great spot. Correct, in tennis. Here, it's not your go-to. It's not where you want to live, but it's also not a place you want to avoid.
It's like your uncle's house or a family gathering. You gotta go.
You gotta go. You gotta go
You
through
can't
it,
avoid
and it's okay. It's okay to be there for 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Your goal is to get to the kitchen with fewer shots, but it's really okay to be there many shots. You see Colin Johns, one of the best resetters, takes him sometimes 5 or 6 shots to get in, and that's okay, as long as we get in. Personally, probably, I would say average between 2 and 4 shots to get in, not because I'm better than Colin in the midcourt, but just kind of how it usually works for me. I am trying to put pressure coming in, but I'm also trying not to rush it. So a lot of us, as soon as we hit the drop, regardless how it is, we run towards the kitchen because that's where we need to be. That's where we want to be, but it depends a lot on your shot. If I'm hitting a high drop that my opponent is going to be aggressive on, I might even stay in the back or even go a couple steps back. If I'm hitting a good drop, then I'll go in. I'll go in as many steps as I can comfortably and still being in a good position. So sometimes I'll creep in quite fast and get to the kitchen in 1 or 2 shots, and sometimes I'll be here for a few shots and take my time. I want to get there, and I want to get there safely.
Yeah, so it's not going to be one and done. It's even if you did a good job, people are long, people are risky, they're going to give you back. So it's not going to be one and done at your competitive level or on the levels that you're trying to get to.
We'll show you an example of some people when they rush in, what happens, and attacking balls that are below the net. This is very common. Some people in higher levels do it as well, so just something to avoid. Just out, yes. So obviously harder for me to keep the ball in if it's below the net. That one I should be blocking and not rushing in. My drop was a little bit too high, so I'm creeping in slower. And that's your juicy tidbit. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Boom.